So this is a quick reply video to Scoutcrafter's question about punches, and chisels. So if they're anywhere, they're here. If they're anywhere, let's put that in there, right? So if they're anywhere, they're here. Ah, we are. And there's a specific chisel punch I had in mind that he never mentioned, and I can't find it. And they're the ones, I'm sure you've seen me use them before. There's a spring, you don't need a hammer with it. It's a punch and there's a spring in between, and you hold the end on the item, you pull the spring back and you fire it down. But can I find it? No. Anyway, these are just, see, they do break. You are right, John. They do smash and shatter and break. And yeah, you can reuse them. And like you say, some are a nail, not a punch. That's not a punch, that's a nail. It's for hammering the head of a nail in, isn't it? Making a nail disappear. They're much the same for doing that. But we have got some drifters to knock pins out. I'm not sure, were these, is this, I've got something similar. Is this sort of instead of a drill or something? You sort of bang, turn, bang, turn, bang, turn, bang, turn. Is that some sort of a drilling sort of chisel? I don't know. Yeah, bent one. A couple of heavy ones. Some need trimming. Yeah, nice. Needs a bit of a trimming on it. I do pick them up where it's slightly a chopping one. You can bang the top and chop with it. This we can, again, for chasing out shafts. Look at that one. It's got a, probably that's just for, I don't know, for knocking something. See, this one I picked up somewhere, made out of a tap. Yeah, it's been made out of tap, that one. Because if you want to make one, do you know what I mean? You can always make one, can't you, I suppose, with the right material. Again, there's a few. Someone's turned that into more of a chisel. A punch that was more useful as a chisel. And again, this one. That's quite a reduction to make that into a punch, obviously. You know, we're buying these from the era of when people did and make do and didn't just, oh, I need a tool, send off to Amazon, you got it, didn't you? Yeah, you had to make it fit. You do what you've got. That era, then, you know, that one, quite a, I'd say oldish. You can sort of tell on the metal, you know. Yeah. Some you know, chisels, punches. We did see, I've got a punch with a question on it, and chisels and drifts. And I guess this is for a chisel, but for cutting out a brick or something, or cleaning a surface of something. Don't know what that was. Another one just sort of took my eye in the car boot, picked it up. What we got there? Nothing there. Yeah, a bit more. So these fit in a machine, don't they? There's a certain, this is like a Kango. These fit in the machine. So when they come to an end of a machine, they come to our world and get hammered the end off. And I am. There is that isn't it? Is that a scriber or a punch? Oh, don't know what that is. Is that a scriber? Or is that a punch? Very fine punch. Anyway, where were we? More to now. Is this something that's happened, or is this a failure? What is that? Why has that happened? That's not been done deliberately, has it? What's happened there? Is that a failure, or is that somebody trying to make or do something else? What is that? How did that come about? Just something I've picked up, you know. What would you do? You'd just cut that, wouldn't you? So, come along. More chisels. Oh, slightly different drive end on that, isn't there? Again, it's meant to have a machine to break up concrete or whatever. Yeah, we know about bolster chisels, don't we? These, I'm not really sure what these do. Is that just because it's a shape, or is that for knocking out the cement in between bricks? I don't know. What chisel does that? What is that? Or is that just a handy shape to... Because basically, the chisel, you're either digging or trying to separate away, aren't you? If you want to separate something away, you go and get yourself a chisel and you jam it in the gap, don't you? They're basically for making smaller gaps into bigger gaps. And some are quite meaty, quite big. Some have got names on. Look at that. Is that a chisel or a punch or a whatever? Remember we got that, didn't we? Brought it home, cleaned it up. Another one. Is that homemade, do you think? Ah, there we are. See, look. Why is that like that? Is that like a replaceable tip on that? You use different ones. Look, it looks like you can separate that apart going up there, like what you do on lathe stuff. We've got one more couple of drawers to look through. I haven't found the one I'm looking for. Is this homemade again? I think possibly it is. Look. We do find them. We do look for a name. J.W. Ward, Sheffield. See? There's one here as well. Look. And there's another particular one that I want to find to bring up in the conversation. Anyway, and then I thought, well, I've got to have bigger ones somewhere. I do remember pounding on bigger chisels somewhere. So I decided they must be in here. This is sort of my outdoor stuff, my, what should we call it, builder stuff. And I thought there was going to be loads in here. But of course, you know, the nature of big heavy chisels, it would make its way down, wouldn't it, to the bottom of the cupboard. So sometimes you have to dig a bit deeper to go and find, to go and find a few different type of chisels and bolsters. Oh, we might be on a track. We might be able to find some. One bit of protection when you're clouting it. That's for banging a hole, isn't it? Have we got any more in here? Hold on. Yeah, I have got. Okay, I've got a fetish for those things. We should have. I seem to recall. No, we've just looked at that. I can't seem to. Oh yeah, look, another one of those. Well, if you looked at all my tools, you'd be thinking there's a big concreting job, a cement mixing job coming up, but there isn't. I just can't walk past them, can I? No. Must remember next year, don't buy any of those again. What is that? Is that chisel? No. Is this a chisel? No. I've got big whalers that you swing on and smack them somewhere. Hey, oh, rubber. Why is that in there? Why isn't it on my rack? Anyway, we've got one more place to look. Whilst I was there in that cupboard, if you see me or if I attempt to buy one of these again, just tell me don't do it. Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll clean up lovely. I reckon that's one of my originals, that is. 5. We'll clean that up lovely at the top. Now we've got them little brushes. 5, 6, 7, 8. Does that count? Plastic one? So if you see me in the car boot trying to buy these, just politely tell me, Reggie, you're mad. You don't need any more scrapers. There we are. We've got a few scrapers, putty scrapers. Some of them are really nice. So you can see why I bought them. But to think that I can't see any building projects ahead of me at the moment, but you never know. Tell me. Just say, Reggie, no thanks very much. You've got too many already. Wow, I didn't really realise until I opened that drawer how much stuff I had in there. So, we saw this one. This is something definitely picked up out of that's a homemade one, isn't it? That's a homemade, or a black, is the bloke has given a bar like this to the blacksmith and said, warm that up and bash it into a shape, will you? Dead spider. Anyway, let's not get distracted and carry on and look for punches and chisels. I'm going to leave. Look at the state of this one. Oh dear. This is we're going to we'll clean this one up. I've cleaned that bit of it, but I'll use those little wheels and we'll bring that up like new, just to show you again they're well worth buying. But I've got enough now. No more, Reggie. So I wondered if we had any chisels in the vintage drawers. I've just had a quick flick through, not as many as I thought, but I have found what I was looking for as to the question I was going to ask. Again, look, this is homemade. What did we find here? Yeah, just that one. What's that, a punch or a chisel? What the hell is that? That's a good old thing, homemade again. This one's got a name on it. Yeah. The question I was going to ask, and that was in my mind on one of these, is what is that then? Why is, obviously it's got a bit of a bend and it's been flattened on the end, but I wonder what that's been used for. Is it homemade? Yeah, it's got a long run up to it, hasn't it? So I wonder, if you ignore the kink on the end, it's definitely deliberately been flashed into some sort of a make-do screwdriver. Is this a standard tool, or is this somebody's made this? What is that? And we saw them. What's that for? I know all chisels are the same thing. Try and get it in there and jam it apart. That's a nice steady run up of a chisel, isn't it? That would separate something that you're breaking up or trying to get apart. Nice slow running, just keep wailing on it. But anyway, I never found what I was looking for. And there's less in there than I thought. But anyway, thanks, John. Thanks for bringing it to our attention. And you know, if you don't use them very often and you've got them, it's nice to just revisit them. So yeah, we've revisited our punches and we've revisited our chisels. So they're now in the forefront of our mind. We remember them now, don't we? So that was a nice exercise.